evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Paint Desk Ramblings. My guest tonight is a well-known formite who is never afraid to voice his opinion. It's Grouchy Badger.
Yeah, it's me, Grouchy Badger.
How are you today?
It's a pretty early morning. I fell asleep in my chair trying to update my computer, so we're starting a little late, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we should be fine nonetheless. So you also are known for a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The Guard Bro miniature review.
Yep, I run a YouTube channel where I review and break down and put together models of all kinds.
Yeah, I just watched one of your videos earlier today about the Vintrix saxons, I think they were.
Yeah, Vintrix is really putting out models that are just thrashing the competition right now. They're really slow with putting them out because they're all injection molded, so they gotta grind out their metal plates of their injection molding. But man, what they put out, you just can't beat it. it's just so good.
Yep.
And when you have the armies for like the Asklander book, you know, it's just it's like a one-stop shop almost.
That's awesome. Yeah, I work with the injection molding in my professional life, so I know the hassle.
Yeah, I had no idea it was that intricate. I had
big
no
undertaking.
Idea.
But yeah, it's that's really cool to hear. So if you haven't checked out this channel, you really should. It's some great content there, basically. But we will move on to what we will talk about tonight. So the topic for tonight is the patch update for the 9th Age Fantasy Battle that was released quite recently, early December. We'll chat a little bit about it, about the armies that we have that are affected by this, give our thoughts and all of that. I have Orcs and Goblins and Vampire Covenant, so we got those covered. How about you?
One of those is going to be a pretty good discussion, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, might save that one for last. So I don't play Orcs and Goblins.
Yep.
So how bad were they? Like, did they get any good decreases or any good changes, or were they kind of get the bad a bit?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I just thought we'd mention the armies that we're gonna chat about.
Yeah, okay.
So we got Orcs and Goblins and Vampire Covenant for me, and you have Vampire Covenant also.
I have Vampire Covenants. I have Kingdom of Equitane. I have a small Dark Elf army, and then I have Asklanders.
Yep. All right. So we'll cover some different armies. I'm not sure how good a detail we go into all of them, but we'll see it as it goes. So before we get into that, we have the hobby spotlight. You should be able to see my desk, all of you. So I'm working on some knights tonight for my Emperor Sonshal army.
So
models are from Games Workshop. Yeah, it's the Games Workshop old Empire Knights. I have the riders over here. They're also being worked on. But I will probably focus on the horses tonight. I'm doing them in batches of 3. So
yeah,
it's getting there.
And cavalry takes over.
How about you? You doing anything? Yeah, it sure does. It's twice the model basically.
Right now, I just finished up a batch of the Fireforge Undead Cavalry, and I'm always painting something. But the Fireforge Undead Cavalry for like Baron Knights, you get 1, 2, 3. You get 4 knights, I believe. 4 knights, 5 knights, and you get these 2 undead like Dobermans. I forgot how you got the Dobermans.
Six knights, but yeah.
But
Cool. Did you get some dogs too?
yeah, you get a pair of literal, they're literal Dobermans, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot I even had the darn things. I had to like root through my mound of heads and arms to find them. I'm like, oh, they're my dogs. So I'm trying to paint up my dogs. The Fireforge Undead Cav, when compared to like Games Workshop Undead Cav, the horses still have a little bit of flesh on them, so it's really fun going in and painting out the bones and giving the flesh a nice rotted. Like mine right now are very clean look. I might take some like green inks to them, try to get a nice little rotted, fetid look going to them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But after painting about 300 skeletons,
Yeah,
man, I do not want to paint undead things.
I hear you. Painting a lot of skeletons myself in the days.
Yeah.
But yeah, those knights, I've seen the models. They are really sweet looking.
They really are, and they put together super well too.
That's cool too. Oh, that's good to know. So yeah, with that out of the way, we'll go on to some news, and I'll share my screen here. I should remember it. Can you let me know when you can see it?
I can see it. Yeah, you're on the Avatars of War website.
Yeah. So this is not super new news, but I don't think they made such a big an announcement of it. But they released a salamander model a while back, which I think is really sweet looking. So they had a spear back from before, but now they also have a salamander. So that's a nice way to complete the range, I guess.
I forget. Is Avatars of War a Ninth Age focused company?
They are a supporting company. They are, but they do their own thing, but slap the sticker on basically for the most part.
I see.
They even have the sticker here in the picture.
Yeah. The thing.
They all.
Well, go ahead.
Just gonna say they also released this halfling rogue in the same.
Yeah, I saw that
at the same time, basically.
It really is a shame we needed an official halfling army. I mean, people have been wanting one since like 3rd edition with the halfling hot pot. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And there's so many miniature companies making halflings. It's incredible.
There's one of the most
like well-supported armies out there, I think.
Yeah, there's one that's like chicken cavalry or some damn thing. It cracked me up when I saw it.
Yeah, I think that's the assault group. I think.
Yeah.
Who has, but it might be featured in other miniature companies too. But the assault group has some really nice empire, kind of Landsknecht themed halflings. I'm thinking about getting some for my army, and they have some chickens too, which is quite cool.
I'm never sure what to think of Avatars of War because they don't really make any mass units. Mostly it's like heroes and such.
They have some kits, don't they? Have the dwarves?
There's an infernal dwarf one, a box set. There's like a dwarven seeker and marksman set, I believe. I think there's a King Guard too.
Yeah, the marksman rangers and seekers are here on the website.
No, I see.
So they do some box sets, but really not a lot. And I agree. That's a shame. They do nice miniatures, so it would be cool to see more plastic from them.
Yeah.
But moving on, we have some news from Fireforge. They released a set of four different heroes. They were in the Kickstarter, I believe, but now they are available as.
They released
normal
Lady
dudes.
Ravenclaw.
Oh yeah, that was from a while before even. But yeah, that's one also fairly new. This time I was thinking about this dude, the Aelard, the young wolf, the druid.
Oh, yeah, I have those guys. I got them in the whatchamacallit, Kickstarter thing. Yeah, I got all the heroes in the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I actually I've had hands on these models. They're all resin cast mostly right now, I assume. And they're actually quite unique.
Okay.
The Necromancer really calls back to like the old Games Workshop one. that's not too shocking. But the other heroes, the Barrow King is a lot more refined than the Games Workshop Barrow King. Yeah, that guy right there. He is much more refined than the old Barrow King. The Baldwin guy, he's got a pretty unique look to him. He's got a hard to explain, like his setup. Like he's just got a whole different feel and look than any other like cavalry hero that I've ever messed with. Like this guy right here. Yeah, his horse has like a quilted like armor to it. He's got like this little weird like Saleh type helmet. And it's really kind of cool. And on the sprue you get an open face one, and then a closed helmet, and then a bare head. So you get 3 head options with this one little kit.
That's neat.
Yeah,
I really like the pose of the horse here.
The horse isn't
a dynamic pose for a horse.
Yeah, the horse is just a standard
but it's
moving horse.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So they've got that. They also have a Christmas sale going on, mostly hobby stuff, paints and brushes and such. So if you're in the need of that, you can check it out.
Yeah, I hear that have you ever used their brushes?
No, I don't think I have. Let's see. Army Painter. Yeah.
Yeah. Those triangular brushes are great because they don't slip out your hand.
I'm holding an Army Painter brush right now, so yeah, I do use them. Just noticed. Yeah. So how about that? But yeah, the triangular grip is neat, really.
It's really comfortable, yeah.
So yeah. Moving on, Norba released some new sculpts for their infantry for Kingdom of Aquitaine.
I'm still iffy on Norba.
Resin. Yeah, I'm a bit in the same camp. It's all resin casts, and the sculpts. I'm not really sure about the proportions. Sometimes.
Saying I bought some Infernal Doors back in the day, and I was just like, "What the hell did you send me?" It's just. But I mean, they look good on the website. I mean, they look stellar. It's just how they look when you actually get them.
Yeah, and I think these new sculpts, they are better than the old. It's certainly an improvement.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah, definitely an option if you want some nice Forlorn miniatures.
Some actual bastard sword miniatures.
So, yeah. So my last bit of news is the 98 starter set that was released quite recently. They did a news item about this too.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know how the hell they pack all those models in there for only $20. Like that's a lot of plastic for only $20.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, yeah. I looked at this and thought the miniatures look a bit iffy, but $20.
Yeah, I was like, what kind of
for all of this
fucking thing is this?
That's just crazy.
Here's an entire army.
So the quality
of cancer.
Yeah, the price is really insane, but yeah, probably a great way to start an army. So that's good to see.
The werewolves doesn't look all that bad either.
No, they look decent, certainly. It was a bit hard to get detailed pictures of the sprues, but I managed to find somewhere on their site. But yeah, it's mostly single pose plastic. Mm-hmm. So
you gotta cut that cost somewhere.
Yeah. So do you have any news you want to share?
I can't really show any screen caps right now because my browser is currently freaking out because I got a new Windows update. But Raging, yeah, I know. Vintrix is currently putting out 2 types of Nordic figurines. from their Dark Ages line. They also are putting out, they have the late Anglo-Saxons, Anglo-Danes, and the Anglo-Husk Girls. So you can buy actual Husk Girls for your Husk Girl unit. They're also coming out with a nice Persian unit for anyone who's doing a kind of Middle Eastern themed army. You have a whole like Persian Greek army era kind of Persian unit. Additionally, Normans are also coming out. I'm not sure what you could use Normans for when it comes to Ninth Age, but the models are there. You can use them for whatever. Additionally, when it comes to that, there's also Raging Heroes. Raging Heroes is currently putting out more and more kind of a barbarian type of a unit, where it's kind of a female barbarian kind of looking kind of person. There's no male units on the Raging Heroes website, but if you want like a little bit of a breakup in your battle lines, you can use their new kind of Warriors of the Dark Gods kind of models. Besides that, there's not a lot going on right now with anything spectacular. People are a lot of companies are simply updating their sculpts. It seems like people are seeing that there's actually competition in the mini market now. The invention of 3D resin the invention of 3D resin modeling has let so many companies just spring up out of nowhere and start making money, and it's great for the modeling environment, because we have now so many options to go and get. Like back in the day, you had Games Workshop or Games Workshop. It's really all you had, and just it's been a decade, and now you have like a swarm of companies you can choose from. Not all of them are going to be great quality, but there's going to be a lot of companies to choose from. Right now, what I like trying to find are people who are doing larger models. Like there's one called Black Sun Miniatures. And with Black Sun Miniatures, say you want like you say I want a giant model, but you don't want like the inbred looking giant with like the weird head and like the mismatched eyes. You can go into his website, and he has these 75 millimeter models that are like Vikings or like kind of a Chaos Warrior looking guy. And you can get your giant that way. And he's also coming out with a Labyrinth version. So he's making 75 millimeter Labyrinth miniatures, and I am looking forward to that, because you can have a giant David Bowie miniature as your giant if you wanted to. The option is there.
That sounds great. Actually, the Labyrinth is if I ever start on a Warriors of the Dark Gods army, the Labyrinth is actually one thing that's inspired me, because these scrap heap collectors that store everything on their backs, those hags.
Old ladies.
That is my vision of greed.
Yeah.
So if I did a Sukulag unit, that would be what I would do.
Sukulag unit.
So
that's funny. Here's a screenshot of their David Bowie model. You too can have the power of the babe. Here's the thing.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is one dude. And he's just pumping out these models, and it's like, this is fantastic. Like, and they're only like $30. Like I bought a Dragon Hunter model from him, and $30. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, you want me to leave a tip or anything? Jesus, like that's pretty cheap for what you're sending me. And I got the model, and it's fantastic quality. I was so shocked. There's also these would be great for like a Lizardman player. Just look at these. They are like, and they're huge. These are huge models. So if you want I want a different kind of Sarganacian war beast. He has these. I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? It's a Triceratops using a spear. This is awesome. But he has such
really,
creative
really
things.
Cool, actually.
It is. And I was like, I may want to play Lizardman now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the worst part about all these miniatures. You want to start so many armies.
Yeah.
There are just too many cool things.
Another big announcement, I believe, is actually Last Sword Miniatures. Last Sword Miniatures I believe they're from Spain. Is they just made a
They did a
gigantic
Kickstarter
Lizardmen. Yeah,
for Sovereign Nations and elves. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
and their models are ridiculous quality. I have a few of their elves I reviewed a long time ago, and they are just gonna blow you away with like their little elven models. Now, to be fair, the models are expensive, but they are very, very showy models, extremely well textured. They go in like there's one guy's have like these little kraken cloaks kind of, and man, you just go in and you can actually feel each scale. I mean, they do such detailed work on their miniatures. I would say they're in the same price range as Last Heroes. A little bit expensive, but you are paying for the quality. You know, it's not like a bait and switch like Cyborg miniatures. Bastards.
Okay.
Yeah,
You seem to know your way around the miniatures.
just explain Cyborg. They have really rough sculpts. You have to go in with a very fine tipped like pick and just scrape out all of, like the goop, I guess. And it's a huge pain in the ass. Huge pain. But they have like the best Infernal Dwarf models on the market, so I gotta put up with it somehow, I guess. But on the image right there, like say you wanted like a more less goofy, more serious giant model, bam, right there. Words. Warriors of the Dark Gods army, giant, you're done. Bop, right there. That model right there is 45 euros. Done.
That's a steal for that kind of detail.
It really is.
Sweet.
But we are truly in a blessed time right now when it comes to miniatures because you can go anywhere and get a really good miniature. It's really nice.
Yep, that's true. So it's became quite a long news section, but there really is a lot of miniatures out there, so it's only fair to. No. I appreciate it. It's really good to hear about all these miniature companies. Might have to look these large scale miniatures up. I'm looking for something to use as a statue. We'll see. So lots of project all the time. Yeah. But I think it's time to go into the main segment. So yes, the patch update. So this was released on the 5th of December, and it's following another update they did in late October, I think. So it's concluding the short beta period that we've had. And the last update was heavily based on the data they had collected over the year. And then this one is more of a gut feeling approach, I think, because they don't have much data to go on.
Mm-hmm. To say that it was received in a certain way would be an understatement.
Yeah, some people certainly didn't appreciate everything, and but that's also true for the last update. I think it's a difficult balance to walk, definitely, and I think it sort of makes sense to do it this way. I remember when the last update was released, there was a lot of complaints about them not being it's being too heartless, basically. So they just released the update, and everything that was used a lot had been brought up in price, and the used not at all had been brought down. And some people were angry that basically things had been brought down or brought up in price, and you would still use it because it's is necessary to the army, so it didn't open up anything new basically, and things like that, and that's fair. That's fair. But then hopefully they could try and address some of that with this update. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not really sure how well they achieved that.
I get where they're coming from, where you raise up one thing, make it less attractive, and you lower one thing, make it more attractive. But if the miniature or the unit you're making more attractive by point raising isn't good, they're still not going to take it because it can't do anything on the it can't do anything on the battlefield. You can make it as cheap as you want, but if it's a poop army unit, then no one's going to take it anyway. It's just but I get what they're doing though. Like you can kind of understand their head process where it's at, I suppose.
Yeah, I think there are cases like that, but I don't think it's that common. Mm-hmm. It's I think most things can be sold with the point cost, but yeah, it's a bit tricky.
It's definitely a balancing act.
So we'll dive into it, and I can start off with the Orcs and Goblins if that's all right with you.
You go right ahead.
All right then. So the way I suggest that we do this is we pick 1, 2, 3 things that we think are good about the update, and 1, 2, 3 things we think are bad. So I think I do them. One bad, one good, and then alternating basically.
Called the old miniature compliment sandwich, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so one good thing, the Madgets, these were reduced in cost from 65 to 60 points. So not a huge change, but I really think it's a good one. It's Madgets are one of these things that they feel really iconic to the army. Might be legacy, of course, but it's a very unique type of rules and all of that, and it's a shame that you don't see them as much on the table as you used to. So I think it's a good thing that they are brought down a little bit in price. They are still quite heavily restricted in numbers. You cannot have infinite amount basically, and you have to have fairly large units of goblins to host them. So it's still you can't go nuts with them.
I think it's kind of cool how you can still like stand and shoot with them too. Like, okay, here's a bad boy when you throw it out of the unit. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a really neat way to release them. I think the rules are quite good for them now. They are complex, but it's not as bad as it used to be. So I appreciate that. One bad thing. So the Iron Orcs, their base cost was increased, and the cost of extra model was decreased. And this one really struck me as odd, because I always thought that people brought either max-sized units, really big ones that were very effective on the battlefield, or they brought maybe a single min-sized unit as a little extra scoring unit, basically.
Saying I've never
felt like they had a really good.
So yeah, I've never not seen the name I always forgot, the black orcs basically, the super hardcore orcs, and I played against them a few times too, and it seems like they're kind of overcosted for how effective they are. Like Forlorn Knights beat the snot out of that unit.
Yeah, they are. I think they're very matchup dependent. I can't really put my finger on it, but sometimes they are really worth it, and sometimes not at all. And I don't really see a pattern when I use them. So, but I'm not that good of a player, so maybe it's that there's that. But I think they had a good balance in the points before, so I'm not sure what they're trying to do with this little adjustment. I think it will just mean that now they will only be fielded in super in super large units, which is a shame.
It's always kind of weird how they'll increase the unit cost but decrease the cost per model. Like just do one or the other. Like don't bother with doing both because it feels like a weird like teeter totter kind of update. Like just make it cheaper with the unit or make it cheaper with the points per model and just call it a day with just one of those. Don't raise and lower the other. You know, this is just weird.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea actually. It's always if you tamper with more than one parameter, it's
Yeah.
trickier to get it right.
Yeah,
So
like just do
yeah,
one.
that could be a yeah that could be a general problem. So another good change, I think, is the Grotling price. They were the additional models was increased from 11 to 14 points per model, and while I really liked the price at 11 points per extra model, I think it was a bit stupid. You could
Oh,
get a unit of 6 Grotlings for 123 points, and that's 30 health points right there.
oh, is it really? Holy crap.
Scouting, vanguarding. Yep.
Jeez. Okay.
And you can get them in units of 10 bases, I think, 3 of them total in your army. So that's like, it's 150 health points scouting up, and it's really not that expensive. I didn't check how expensive that is, but yeah, they were too cheap, so now they are a little bit more expensive. I think they're still
That
uh,
is that's a lot of
somewhat
words.
useful. Yeah, sure is. So I think that's good in the long run. And then I actually struggled to find another bad thing about this update. There's not that much that has happened. It was a fairly small change. One other good thing that that happened, I think, is the common orcs upgrade for crossbow and heavy armor decreased from 6 to 5 points. Not massive, but I think it will make those units a little bit more common, and I really think they are cool. So that I'd be happy to see more of those on the field.
You say crossbow? Oh, I see it now. Oh, okay, I see it now.
Yep.
I see it now. I see it. That's kind of. I didn't even know orcs could take crossbows. I never see them.
No, I think they made the upgrade specifically for these old Dogs of War miniatures, the orcs with their
Oh,
crossbows.
okay.
I can't remember what they were called from Games Workshop.
That's a nice nod to the
And they
past,
are not that common. Yeah, I love it when they do that. But I don't think the models are that common, and in general, it's quite hard to find orc models with crossbows, so not a lot of people are running them. So, but at least
actually,
encourages some more to convert something up.
yeah. So you got an orc in core. It's toughness 4 and strength. What's it? Tough 4, strength 3 with heavy armor and a
Yeah,
crossbow. That's not bad
melee for
actually.
fight.
Yeah, that's not that
No,
terrible.
I think they can be useful. Certainly.
I really wish folks would break out of
And
their
they
meta
just
and try new things. Like a lot of folks are just stuck and they're just stuck in their ways. Like, no, I don't want to take crossbow orcs. That's stupid. Like, just try it. Give it a try. You know.
yeah, sometimes people need a nudge. So yeah, one of the things that I noticed quite recently about the Orcs and Goblins in the last update, the price for Nashers was increased from 12 points per model to 13 points per model, or maybe 13 to 14, a little bit, basically. And in the update before that, so one year ago, it was decreased by that amount. So they asked back, and that decrease before it, no one ran Nashers, no one. And then they decreased it by 1 point per model, and everyone ran Nashers everywhere, and they were horribly broken, and everybody hated them. And I think the reason that everybody started using them was that Games Workshop released their new Squeak models. So it was completely unrelated to the rules, and it just really silly.
There are some changes they do like that, where it's like, just stop, just leave it alone. Like you're gonna, if like it's just I don't know because metas will change and people want to go. I want to run. Well, you're gonna have one guy. He's like, I want to run all of these things, and if they do really well, players will notice and go, well, I want to do well too. I want to do that thing like he did, and suddenly you got the rules team going, these Nasher Dashers or whatever are pretty hardcore. Better give them a nerf, because they're being played a lot, and it may seem like they're overpowered. It's just the cycle of units being used and someone else using a wacky tactic to make it work. Like I'm working on a list where I have like 6 paladins or some damn thing, just something weird to try out. And I did a mock game in my house, and it worked out, I would say, terrifyingly well. And I'm like, oh no, Paladins nerfed by 30 points, or some damn thing. I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think people generally should try more things, and maybe the rules team should do less updates on points and focus more on design things, perhaps. But it's tricky, really. One thing I recall having heard about this trying new things is that if you want to be good, you can't just take a net list, because then everybody knows exactly how you're going to play it.
Yeah.
If you want to win tournaments, you have to be innovative and steer the meta, be before the meta, basically.
I never understand people who just like they just latch onto a net list. Okay, I'm gonna win. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that 1,000 times, and you just like, oh, that big monster you like, chaff, eat bats. Like I don't want to see that crap.
Yeah, it's people have different kinds of fun for certainly, but sometimes you get a bit perplexed about people's choices, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna do it for Orcs and Goblins, I think. Do you have an army you wanna touch upon?
We'll leave the fire hole for last, I think. Well, I'm gonna start off with Kingdoms of Equitaine. Overall, it was just a lot of weird, like, just point changes. Some were good, some were a little strange. Let me pull the book up real quick here. I have my annotations in it, because Windows can do that apparently. Let's see here. Not VC, you stupid Calva program. But to start off with, for some reason, they increased the point cost of peasant bowmen for some reason. I don't know why. Peasant bowmen are taken mostly as... Go ahead.
Yeah, they don't seem to have been dominating really, but maybe I'm wrong.
I wouldn't call them like a major threat, because they are peasants. The most thing they like, I run mostly a peasant army, so I'm kind of one of the few in the field experts on peasantry. It seems like, because a lot of guys they do the normal like night buses and the night darts, night all right, I got it. I'm gonna do something different. I just not doing different things differently. So I run a lot of peasants, and let's see, peasant bowman. The unit cost went up by 10 points, but the additional model cost went down by 8 points. It's like, okay, thanks for the peasant bowman increase, I guess. It looks like a shrug your shoulders kind of thing. The biggest thing I believe in that I think is a great change. I don't know why they did it, but hooray! Peasant levy gets spears and halberds for free now. I'm not sure why they did that, but that's going to save you 50 points on a big old brick of 50 peasant levy. So, I mean, say you have 2 big bricks of peasant levy, and they're all at 50, right? Well, you saved 100 points. That's like another brick of levy or something, or a single ground. Yeah. Another thing, they brought up the cost of brigands by 10 points, and then increased the actual model cost by a point. So it's actually a pretty hardcore waffle nerf for brigands. I didn't think everyone took brigands. I take 2 units of brigands. People take a unit of brigands. They're great for being stubborn and forced. They are aim 3+. They are strength 3. I know you're shocked. They're OND 2 in combat. Like, they're not really great. They're mostly a nice little chaff unit, and they're like, yeah, we gotta take care of that. So they decided to increase the cost by 10 points for the unit and a point for any of the models. It's like, okay, thanks for ruining my dreams, I guess. But at the same time, they reduced the cost of the trebuchet by another 5 points. It's like, no. Like, I really wish they would make the point changes at least 10 points. Don't nickel and dime it by a point or 10, or like 5. Just use a 10-point swing. Make it real clean. That way it actually feels like it's impactful when you buy that unit. Because like a point or 5 points, it's like, okay. Like, it's not really as impactful as a 10-point change or like a 25-point change. VC got a lot of 25-point change things, I believe, if I remember right. But in KOE,
Yeah.
divine here's a weird thing. Divine Judgment went down in points. Might went down in points. The Duke went down in points. Hippogriff went down in points. For some weird reason, they increased the shield cost on all the characters to 10. I'm like, that's kind of rude. Like, but okay. Like, apparently the shields are just so damn good in Equitane that they got to cost 10 points. I'm like, all right, have it your way, I guess. Yeah, it was really odd.
Yes, all the characters get good armor saves, so. But
yeah, well, because they need them.
It's yeah. And isn't it that the Equitane characters can use a shield along with the greatsword?
Yeah, the bastard
great
sword.
weapon.
Now here's what I mean when I say, like, okay, thanks for the useless change, right? First, they reduce the cost of the character by 5 points, right? Then they increase a shield cost by 5 points. It's a moot change. Everyone always takes their shields, so you didn't save us any points. You just made things expensive for no reason. Like, why do these little wacky things? Like, okay, 5-point discount on your character, but his shield's an additional 5 points. And it's a KOE army. Everyone takes their damn shield because we need every armor point we can get. It's just such a moot change. Like, okay, thanks for bothering, I guess. Like, it's just, there's so many weird changes like that.
But at some point, it has to start being worth it to take them without the shield, I guess.
I have no idea why. Yes, I have no idea why you would take a KOE character without a shield, because they're all focused around hand weapon shield or a lance or a bachelor sword, and get the shield anyway. Like, I don't like. Why would you not get the armor point? I just can't. I can't wrap my mind around that particular change.
It actually feels like they should come with shield as a base in their.
I completely
I mean,
agree.
really, they are knights. They like their shields. They have their heraldry and all of that on it. Of course, they should have a shield.
Now, more good news for the cavalry boys in the core department. Aspirants and Knights of the Realm was down in point cost by a whopping 5 points, and then another additional point or 2 in the model cost. I guess it'll shave off points for some folks who go knuckle deep in the night buses, but it's like, okay, 5 points. That's be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 points I saved. Okay, that's fine. Like, it's like I could put that somewhere else, I suppose. I just don't agree. Like, they made great changes in like the base cost of all the mounted knights, and even for Knights Forlorn, my bow in his army went down by a point, which is nice. But I guess the good part about this particular change is that a lot of things went down in point cost. Maybe not a lot, but they went down in point cost. The things I don't like is that some of the point cost changes, like for paladins and dukes and all that, it's made moot by the shield cost increase. It's like you basically changed nothing. It's like, okay, thanks for that. Like, if you're gonna make these changes,
waste of paper.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a change, make a change. Make the change worthwhile. Don't like cloak and dagger your changes. Here's 5 points off, but here's a 5-point increase. I think here's an increase. I think you're always gonna take. Like this. change one or the other. Don't bait and switch your changes like that, because it just makes us a little like, ugh, okay, thanks, like people are gonna get aggravated. And they brought down Crusader
I think
Peasants.
there can be a point to them.
Yeah, there can be, I
that kind of
suppose.
change. Especially like mounts and such. If you decrease the point of the foot character and increase the cost of the mount, you're promoting the foot character basically.
Mm.
But in the case of those shields, it feels a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, it really does. Folks are going to like the Might and Divine Judgment decrease because you cannot take them in tandem now, which is as much as you liked the Tomahawk missile character where you just launch them at things and kill it. It was a deserved nerf. That was some bananas ass like gameplay going on with. Okay,
Yeah.
I got a Duke on a Griff with Might and Divine Judgment. Like, holy crap.
Have fun, ogres.
GG. But yeah, I guess overall, we got a lot of good changes, a lot of head scratchers for sure. But my only like real like gripe with KOE is make the changes worthwhile. Don't bait and switch, and please fix Peasant Crusaders. Like, I want to love them. I want to hold in my arms and go, you are worth it. You are worth my time. But they're just not. I mean, they don't bring anything except stubborn to the battle top, and that's the only thing. Just the only thing. Because right now, Crusader Peasants, I think the only weak unit in the book, in my opinion, is Crusader Peasants. Everyone else is workable. Everyone else has a mojo they can flex with, but Crusader Peasants, my word, they're only strength 3. They don't get additional attacks and rank, so their parry weapons is made useless. Their sword and board is like meh. You get parry. They don't get any kind of blessing, despite being holy Crusaders that get stubborn from a holy relic. They don't get any kind of blessing, which kind of sucks. Well, the old relic give out a blessing. New relic doesn't. They don't really have anything to make them worthwhile to take, and they die in droves. And the worst part is that a smart player will go, okay, there's a relic. They'll smash a relic, and then you're not stubborn. And you're like, oh, okay. I guess I'll die now.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen those on the table, really, which is a shame.
I tested them for a solid 2 months, both at the game store and at home, just throwing things against them, and they always died like punks. They require magic. They're the one unit I can say these guys require magic to be usable. And what that means is to me is that your unit can be neutered and made redundant by a bad dice roll, or your opponent going, yeah, I'm not letting that get off. Like Savage Fury or Battle Focus, like, yeah, you're not going to get that. And you're like, damn it. And now they're all going to die.
Don't they have Battle Focus already?
I don't believe so. I believe they get Hatred. And let's see here. Scroll. They get Hatred and Devastating Charge +1 attack. Now, here's what I don't like. Rail Knights get Holy Fervor, Holy Fury, where they can make additional attacks in rank. Yeah, sorry, Holy Might. They make 2 supporting attacks, which is great. Makes a tight unit viable. Peasant Crusaders get Impetuous, Scoring, Surf, Devastating Charge +1 attack. They could get paired weapons, but that's only good for the front rank. And we're only at strength 3, D skill 2, so almost everything is to be hitting it on 3s, if not 2s. You need to be able to pump out some damage, in the first round of combat. And and if you're gonna keep them at strength 3 and still poo-poo and everything, they gotta be able to at least pump out mass hits to try and make up for the lack of strength. And I really think they need Holy Fervor, Holy Fury. Even if they don't get like some kind of blessing, at least make them be able to go in there and like be like a cannonball thing where you launch it and go, okay, hope that does something. Like you hope you can sneak past some 1s or 2s.
Yeah, a glass cannon for like low armored infantry stuff.
Yeah,
That could be interesting.
because right now they can't, I've tested them. Like I'm using my data. That I know people probably have something different, but I'm using my data with this. They can't grind, they can't sustain, they can't hold anything because yeah, they're stubborn until you kill off the damn relic, and then you got peasants going, what do we do now? And I remember I lost on average 10 wounds per combat. That's the average. When it got hot, I lost like almost half the unit in a single swing of combat because I was testing prayer weapons. If you don't take prayer, if you don't take prayer weapons, you get the shield and you get parry, but everything's hitting them on on 4s or 3s or 2s, and if you got elves, then you're hitting you on 3s anyway, and it's all moot. It's just,
Yeah.
I just want them to work, but they just don't work right now. But besides that, I mean, right now the book's in a good place. Just be honest, the book is in a great place. KOE is a extremely stable book, and I think it could use a few more fun rules. But right now, it's a really solid, stable book. So high five to you on that one, rules team.
I can agree with that. It seems like a solid book. Certainly.
Yep.
So, are we done with the Kingdom of Aquitaine?
Yeah, I think we leave KOE to rest. I can say a few more on them doing some more like fun rules, but that's probably a video for another time. We're doing the update version right now, so.
Yep. Sounds good.
Who's next?
Yeah, I only have VC left basically. Okay. So if you want to go with Dread Elves,
Dread Elves again be a lot of strange increases and decreases. I'm pulling up the book right now. Dread Elves is a very fun book for me. It's such a, you can do a lot of cool and strange things with Dread Elves, and it really just tickles me pink whenever I pick up the book and get ready to play it. Just really, really fun. The captain base cost went down. Some of the Cult Alarion cost went down. Boostmaster cost went down. Fleetmaster cost went down. 5 points, 10 points here. The small decreases. The Blades of Nav went down on starting cost and model cost, which was kind of an eyebrow raiser, if you ask me. Corsairs went down again. I was really happy to see that. A lot of the Corsairs got some pretty solid discounts. Like, because I run all Corsairs. I like a Corsair army. Like, Corsair, themes. But, they all went down in cost. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Dark Raiders also went down. Repeater Auxiliaries went down. Yuma Dancers went up. So, Yuma went down, or Dancers of Yuma went down a point in model cost, but 10 points in unit cost. I don't know if that's really even warranted. I don't play them too much, but a lot of people I know do, and they're like, shoulder shrug, like they're like, it's okay, I guess. Dread Knights went down in cost by a whopping 10 points. Actually, that's not all that bad. Dread Judges also went down. Dread Judges, I don't see them taking a lot. Actually, I see a lot of Tower Guard taken sometimes, but Dread Judges.
That could be because people just hate the name. I think that's why. It's the worst name in Ninth Age.
Dread Judges.
Really,
I just picture Judge Dredd when I see it, and like,
yeah, everybody does, and it's awful.
Hot shot. What? I just picture it. And it's just it makes me giggle when I picture it, but I think they need a better name, yeah. But that's not to me to decide. But they went down in cost, so people may take them. It's only a 5-point discount, but it may be the tipping point for some. I don't know. Maybe a new name. Raptor Chariot went down by 5 points. Tower Guard went down by 10 points. And to me, I think Tower Guard are really slept on. Tower Guard with that Blood Banner, it's perfect because like the whole front rank gets 3 attacks, 3, 6, 9, 12. It's like, it's so spicy for like a little like death dart. And then Ravencloaks went down. I use a lot of Ravencloaks, and I think they are a fantastic little like harassment thing because you can give Ravencloaks great weapons and strike at initiative and like goodbye siege weapons as you scout in and like scoop past their lines, and it's not a lot of changes for them. I know in beta 2.1 they got a lot of point changes. And I was expecting the same thing, but we got like half the point changes. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, that's fine, sure, yeah. And a lot of things just went down by 5 points, 10 points. And I think they're kind of hitting the mark with Dread Elves. Some things need a bit of a shuffling. Dread Judges definitely need renaming. Just do like a community like rename this unit thing. Like come help us fix our mistake. Like have people put in their things in the hat to see what they're renamed as. I would like to see a discount for Medusas because I run maximum Medusas. Because to me, they're like a little goon unit. Because you run around at strength 5 or strength 4 with pair webs or a halberd, and you just run around and goon things. I think they're great. I think they're also kind of slept on. Because if you people like putting again, this is local meta, and people say they look to put all their points into like that stupid blood chariot thing with the witch on top and Yima dancers and all that. And I don't know. I just really wish people would branch out. And especially in Dread Elves, like KOE, I get it, nice, clip clop, but with Dread Elves, everyone's just still stuck in like the Games Workshop rut. It seems like they take the old favorites and don't really branch out as much. And I really wish that people would in Dark Elves would just branch out more and try some more fun lists like Triple Hydra, Triple Kraken, Max Medusa. All like me, I can pull my list up real quick actually, and me like my Dark Elves is a fun little like theme list. I haven't actually played it at the game store yet. I played it at home with the wife and just testing it out. But man, is it fun just to look at? Like, I got double Kraken, triple Ravencloaks, 3 Medusas, 21 Tower Guard, Corsairs, Dark Riders, Captain Dread Prince. I mean, it's just a super fun little army, and it's very zippy. It goes it's basically Dread Elf NASCAR and that freaking army because everyone's vanguarding up in mass. But like you go through the Dark Elf forum and you go and look at their like list building thing, and it's all just so similar, and there's no real moving around. The guys just seem to stick to the altar lists, and I think that's kind of a net list if you ask me, because everyone takes them. A lot of Dread Legionnaires, a lot of Dread Knights, always the damn Dread Reapers. They take those damn bolt throwers. I mean, yeah, like the amount of times you see double or triple bolt throwers, like, oh god, just stop. No one likes it when you do this.
And in the Highborn Elves too, it's always those triple bolters.
I think if I had $1 for every Dread Reaper list I saw, I'd be able to buy my own miniatures without upsetting my wife. Like it's just. I just beseech the Dark Elf community, or Dread Elf community, just branch out and try something new. Stop staying in the rut. Let the Dread Reapers go, guys. There are other options in the army you can use. Good lord. Well, yeah. So, in summary, Dread Elves pretty okay change. I would call it like a meh plus, because things went down, nothing too hardcore got shook up, so I would call it a hearty, happily meh, there were changes.
Okay, yeah, sounds fair. Okay, so are we ready for the big one?
Let's go ahead and get it over with. So let's see if I can get yelled at in the comment section again. Basically, The hits that came down to VC. I'll let you say your piece first, and then I'll come racking in behind you.
Okay, we'll do it like that then. So let's see. I need to scroll a little bit here.
Scroll.
Good. I think no, I'm gonna save this one for last because I think this is gonna be controversial. Barrow Knights. The cost went down from 45 to 40 for extra models, and that's a big change, really. I think they went down from 47 to 45 in the previous update, and I was happy about that. And now they dropped another 5 points per extra model. Really happy about that.
Think to yourself, when was the last time you took
I
a
like
brick of Barrow Knights? You know, like when have you ever seen a brick of Barrow Knights?
I take them. I take them like every other list or so. If I switch between a few different lists, a few different bloodlines. But if I run von Karstein, I almost always take a brick of knights and put a vampire in them so that they get autonomous. I really like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's the blood trade, isn't it? When they get a vampire in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's inbuilt to the von Karstein that their unit gets autonomous, and it's quite difficult to use it effectively because you still want to be in range of spells and all of that. But I really enjoy having the option to run off with the unit on its own. So I like that build, and it's been decent for me, really. I mean, it's not super strong, but it's decent, and now it's cheaper, so I'm happy with that.
I would say out of the bloodlines, von Karstein is the most fun to play against because it's not gonna like just ruin your day, like say Lamian or a blood dragon, because they're stable and they're tough to break, but they're not gonna be like just like I'm gonna take away all of your fun, you know.
Yeah, they fight fair. I'm not really sure it's like how to describe it, but they fight fair. It seems it's yeah, I can agree with that.
I would call that a fair assessment. They fight fair.
Yep. So, and I guess in a similar way, I think the von Karstein upgrade was decreased from 30 to 4, decreased from 40 to 30 points, something like that. It got a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, I mean,
I appreciate that. It feels appropriate. So, yeah, continue.
No, I had some stuck in my throat. I haven't eaten or drank yet because it's early in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So something bad. The vampire spawn.
Oh, the spawn, really?
From the base cost. Yeah, I think that's a really bad change. They went from the base cost went from 240 to 260.
Yeah, a 20-point jump. Like, wow.
Yeah, that's a big change, and the extra model instead got cheaper. So again, we have this. They are tinkering with 2 parameters at once, and again, I'm perplexed by. I thought people were bringing max size unit of these guys.
Last I checked, yeah.
So if anything, it feels like it should have been reversed. So I don't see the point of this, and it feels misplaced. I don't know.
Because with Vampire Spawn, you have to.
Yeah, they're so fragile, so we want to take big units of them.
Yeah. Because if you don't, they die in droves. Because you have to have. I need one model to be left there after the gun line mows them down in mass. You know.
Yeah, I sometimes run. I don't have a big unit of them, so I just have 3 of them, and sometimes I run them if I can't afford a Varkolak in my army, just as an extra unit to have on the flank that can handle its own. Basically, it can march and like that. So it's pretty nice to have. But now at 260 points, don't think I'm gonna take it anymore. It's a shame, I think.
It
feels misdirected, really.
It's so weird because, like, as me and you were looking at, they're like 5-point increase, 10-point increase, 1-point increase. We get the max, the huge like 20-point increase. Like whoa, hey, what's going on here? You know.
On the other hand, I guess we should appreciate it then, because we were nagging that there were two small changes. So it's it'd be interesting to see what the fallout is, basically.
26 pages of fallout.
This is a bad change. yeah, fair enough. So that was my first bad. Another good. Arcane knowledge went up by 5 points, from 75 to 80. And all things considered, I think this is a good change. I hate that arcane knowledge is so expensive on a Nosferatu, because I like Nosferatu. But the thing is that it's better on an independent, and it's too good on independent, so it has to be priced that way, basically. And it makes independent less good, and that needs to be done. So I wish they would do a design change instead, but I understand that they can't sprinkle those around. So
well, they can't do it quite yet, because they're
doing that.
Saying they're doing the fab here soon, so it's kind of like an in middle kind of fix. Like here's 5 more points while we're redesigning the book.
Yeah. I would wish that they did a little bit more design changes, but I really understand why they don't, because it's so much work. So fair enough. If we can't have that, then increase the points. That's a good solution. So next bad, the Dark Coach went up from 450 to 460. It's starting to get a little bit too expensive. And it's a shame, because it really opens up a lot of playstyles in the same way that you can run the von Karstein Vampire and have a unit operating on the outside of the General's bubble. If you have a Dark Coach, you can get a unit to do that, and it's shutting down that possibility.
460 points. God, it's so expensive, man.
Yeah. But on the other hand, people were taking it, so maybe a bit too common. So I don't know. So my last good one of the three I picked is the Barrow King, his Skeletal Steed. It went up in cost, and I actually think that's a good thing. I don't think that the Vampire Covenant should have these cowboy builds, and it's a nerf to that.
Well, the term cowboy build in an army where you have to be within your general's leadership bubble is a little bit strange. But I do think if they had brought the mount cost up, they should have given him some kind of discount with his gear or something, because that's fine, but he's still actually a rather expensive model as it is, and I really wish they had given him something else, because good.
In this case, they could have done this bait and switch, you call it, so they could have increased the cost of the mount, but decreased the cost of the base character, because the dude on foot is not a big problem, not a problem at all. But this particular build for a cowboy, it was a bit too good.
Still. The what do they call it? The Barrow King 410 with Dusk Forged and whatever the hell else on it. It was a Barrow King Skeletal Steed mount, Dusk Forged, and 2 other things that made him like this like brick of a this absolute unit, you know, just running around doing things.
Yep. And it didn't feel like Vampire Covenant to me. I have the perfect model for that. I have it painted up, and I really like the model. But I never used it because it didn't feel fun.
Didn't mesh, yeah.
And I played against it a few times, and it doesn't feel right. But it's a shame that it targets other builds as well, and they could have avoided that, I think.
I think they could have too, yeah. It's kind of funny. I'll always say, like, when it comes to other books like Dark Elves, the High Elves, they pull out the fine brush and do small detailed marks. With like VC or VS or like Undying Dynasties, the basing brush comes out. There's like these huge swathing changes. It's kind of cracks me up.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
So I have one last bad thing, and that's the Shrieking Horror design change. And
Oh
here they
my
actually used one of these design changes and limited it from you can't have 3 big monsters flying around. And nobody was doing that. It wasn't overpowered, and it's unnecessary.
I mean, it should be an option if you want to do that, because everyone else can.
I can see the point of them not wanting to have. You do need to limit some armies. Not every army should be able to do everything, because then no one is unique.
Cough, high elves, cough.
There is some truth to that. Yeah, but the hybrid elves, their thing is they have dragons. They should have that option. But yeah,
dragons and phoenixes and lightning reflex with like fucking hippogriffs.
Yeah, the thing that really annoys me with this change is for the poor people who played a lot of 5,000 points games.
Yeah,
because for them the previous change didn't change anything, because they could already have 3 big monsters and they had fun with it, and now they can't anymore because some people suddenly wanted to try to take that in 4,500 points, and no, that was too powerful. So it doesn't look good. Yeah, no, I don't.
Say they take 3 giant flyers, right? We were playing Dread Elves. They're now 3 bolt throwers just staring you down, like shunk, and suddenly one of your guys is dead. On the beginning of your turn, like there are counters. They're very easy counters. You got magic, you got siege weapons, you got shooting in general. Like, it's not like a super hardcore he's unstoppable kind of stuff. Like it is counterable easily.
Yeah, I agree with that. It wasn't the end of the world to be able to do it. So it felt unnecessary. So those were all of my points.
Yeah.
What do you feel we have left out?
So this, for you guys who don't know, the page started off with my first comment where I do admit I'm a bit inflammatory in my posts sometimes, but the first post was made on December 5th, and since then we've gone through 26 pages on that particular post, and it was just, people were upset. Like, I was upset. XPR was upset. I mean, a lot of like good players were like, what the hell is this? Because I think he put a lot of charts on there, and the charts show that a lot of things got like a 550% increase or some crazy stuff like that. I don't know how accurate that is. All right, I'm just saying that's what he put up. Like 14% change
over these last 2 updates. Then
yeah, like, and when you look at it, you go, oh, not this particular update, but yeah, a lot of things you're like, why is this? I think we're caught in a place where, yes, it's far easier to just rack up the points and go, okay, remember, you can pay for it, but it doesn't matter. I guarantee, even at 460 points for a chariot, that's not that good in combat anyway. People are still going to pay off the points. People are still going to buy Dark Coaches for 460 points because nothing else is in the book that that's worth taking. Like, I've played this book like almost like religiously, it seems like, and I've tested out almost every single thing in here. And like, dire wolves, they're kind of goofy because you got the champion and you can bring the champion back to life, and it's like a constant cycle of challenges, and it's kind of a goofy thing to do, and people don't like it, but it's just one of the things they can do. It can hold someone in place for a long time. Great Bat's going to Great Bat. I think bat swarms are the best unit in the game, if you ask me. If you're von Karstein, because you can just throw out bat like a. I was playing a player named Cody at the Denver GT, and he played KOE, and I was like, the bats just filled the board, and he was like, I've learned to respect the bat because I was just throwing bats in front of everything. It was just bats, 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 bats. Because
Yeah,
von Karstein can do that.
I know what. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's a super fun build to run. It's
It
it's
really
great.
is. Because
Yeah, it's
von Karstein going down 10 points for the bloodline, I would say I appreciate it because I love running von Karstein. Giving a unit a barrel guard swift stride is so much fun. Raising up some dire wolves or bat swarms when you need them is so handy. But the same thing, the von Karstein vampire isn't like super hardcore. He just do these fun little things like that. And I don't agree with Stormcaller still being that freaking expensive. I mean, that's I don't know. I don't find it really, like, maybe at like 70 points or 80 points, sure. But it's going down. It's been steadily going down, so I'll let that one go. When it comes to
I think the problem with it is that the Vampire Covenant, they are generally quite immune to shooting anyway. I mean, if you lose a few guys, you just raise them up. So it doesn't matter if you lose a little bit less guys.
You know what? With that, I do absolutely agree. I do. It does make Stormcaller redundant with a single spell. Like, all right, you did 5 wounds. Cool, I got 10 back. Son of a,
yeah. So it's a bit difficult to point cost in that perspective, I think.
Actually, that's actually a really good point because I didn't even think of that. It does make the entire spell redundant. Huh. Big thunk there from Madat, let me tell you. So definitely a redesign kind of thing. But then moving on to other things, Ghoul Lord went by 5 points. Why? I understand. Why should Ghoul Lord come up?
No, I don't think I've ever seen anyone run that, like, ever. I don't know.
For those of you who don't know, Ghoul Lord is the main bloodline power for Strigoi, and it gives the vampire and all rank and file models in the unit poison attacks. So if the unit already has poison attacks, all rank and file models in the unit wound automatically on a natural hit roll of 1 less than normal. So on a 5+ to poison. It only affects poison, and that's all it does. And it's 80 points. Are you kidding me? Like Commandment is only 70 points, and that turns skeletons into Graveguard. Like, excuse me? Like, if you ask me, that should be like 50 points. Just ballparking something like that sounds to be fair at 50 points because it's poisons. Like. I don't think ghouls even have AP. Hold on a minute here. Let's look around here. Let's see. Ghouls.
Nope.
Yeah. So
no,
they're strength. So they're strength 3, AP 0. Oh no, they have poison now. I don't. And say I see them saying, well, what if you put your Ghoul Lord in a unit of skeletons or of Graveguard? Well, okay, then you have a guy in there giving him a 6+ poison, which I guess would make them I don't know, Undying Dynasties, but not nearly as good. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's not an 80-point thing to me. Like, just in my head, like, I'm going, I don't know what 40 chests they're playing in rules team that we're able to see this being a problem, but I don't see it being a huge problem because it's only a single unit. I guess maybe because it gives like the mount poison attacks, but usually people who take Strigoi take the that flying horror thing, and then they become their own mount, or
Yeah, I agree.
Like Bestial Bulk is the one I see all the time. I always see Bestial Bulk because you get +1 resilience. You get your size large now. And that's 65 points. Like why is that 65? But giving away a poison attack to your unit, is 80 points. Like, I don't know. To me, in my opinion, I think it should be way, way lower. But again, I'm just some, uncivilized, forum troll. So what do I know? I guess. So I don't agree with the Ghoul Lord being going up. Arcane knowledge, that's a spicy topic, isn't it? Arcane knowledge. I don't
Yeah.
I don't take it out of principle now because it's taken so much. I'm like, I don't want to take that. I'm one of those guys where if something is taken so much, I'm like, I don't want to do that because I want my opponent to see something new, something fresh, And arcane knowledge has been an auto include for what, the past year and a half now. It seems like.
No, it's not that long. I think it's the past 8 months, something like that. It started showing up.
And to explain to
in the
the
strange thing.
No, you first. You first. This delay is annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. The strange thing was that it's been around since forever, like in that design, and it's just quite recently that people realized that they could take it on an independent, and it is super good on an independent. And before that, I used it quite a lot on Nosferatu, and because that extra range is fun. But now that it's gone up in point, it's not worth it on a Nosferatu anymore, and
it seems like to me in my mind, I just see the team like stamping out the fires, like everything's fine, and then people go, "Oh, this thing's kind of cool," and a little flame pops up, and they go, "Ugh!" and they just stamp out that little flame. No, 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 and then like, and then okay, well, this is fun now. And the little flame pops up. Oh, the flame's back, and they start stamping that, trying to stomp that flame out. Like, it's I don't know. It's how I see it as. But basically, for those of you who don't know and don't play VC, with arcane knowledge, for 80 points, your vampire knows the hereditary spell in addition to its other spells. And the spells cast by the vampire gain +6 range and then +3 range for aura spells. So it's a very magic heavy thing. Now, the weird thing is that with Nosferatu, they get the hereditary anyway. So and that's free. Like the Nosferatu bloodline is free, and you get it the hereditary for free. But I guess you can have your little Duke Nukem independent count with arcane knowledge for 80 points, and you learn the hereditary for free anyway. It's just I don't know. Just as the army designed, it's weird that arcane knowledge gives up the hereditary for free because say you go Nosferatu, you're already gonna know it. Like why? It should just increase the range.
It's anti-synergy, and it's for the longest time it was really cheap. I think 60 points, something like that.
I think so.
And that's why when everybody was using it because for 60 points, it costs 50 points to gain the hereditary spell from the common book. So that's 10 points to get extra range. So of course everybody took it once people realized it was there. But yeah, the anti-synergy with Nosferatu is a shame.
It's just such a weird like if they went in and go, okay, we're removing the hereditary thing. That's not like a 30-point upgrade. Done. Problem solved. Yeah. Like instead of trading the points, go you know what?
That would have been the best thing.
They go in and go, you know what? This spell's a little wacky. Just pull out your marker and just cross out the hereditary spell thing. Done. Complete. And now it's more in line with the bloodline, if you ask me. Just like, okay, you want more range? Here's 30-point cost. Cool. I have now 6 more inches, which is a big thing for some spells. Like you can yeet like those snipe spells across the battlefield and all that. But yeah, I think arcane knowledge, stop increasing the damn points. Just remove the hereditary thing. Just do the easy thing and do it that way. But moving on. Knight's Crown went down. I'm fine with that. Knight's Crown is a great little item. It's been overcosted, I think, for a while now. Because you don't get the strength modifiers, I think, anymore or something. They said something about that earlier. What's that stinking item? I'll find you item. Knight's Crown. Attackers do not gain the +X type modifiers for strength. Not saying that they can get their AP still, but not the strength modifiers. And you cannot win them better than a 4+. Like if you remove the AP modifiers, whoa, hey. that's a big deal because now you're AP 0. But it's slowly coming down to where it should be, I think. So that's fine. That's a pretty okay change there. I'm not mad about that one. Moving on down, Vampire Courtier Spectral Steed went up to 110 points. Again, another weird 10-point leap for something. I rarely see a Vampire Courtier or account on a Ghost Steed. It's just usually they're on foot or on a monster or on a regular skeletal horse because they get not a lot of points are invested usually in courtiers. Like I run double counts because I think courtiers are garbage. but yeah, that's a weird. That's kind of a head tilter right there. Like another 10-point jump for that. I don't get it. Anyway. The Barrow King Skeletal Steed, yeah, Barrow King 410 trademark Guard image reviews is a bit of a problem because that does go against the synergy of we shouldn't have non-vampire cowboys. That's just weird. It's fine with me. Banshees came down. I love Banshees. I think they are a great little unit. I usually run double or triple Banshees because I call them the Banshee Tomahawk missiles because you just kind of launch them out and they're great chaff. They scream at you. It's great. I think they need to come down maybe a little. I think at 145 they'll be good to go. Actually, maybe 150.
Yeah, 155 now.
Yeah, they're 155 now. I think at one point they were 180. So they're coming down by a lot. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Now here's the one where I'm like, what the hell? Zombies went up on 5 points? Like what the?
Yeah.
Who the hell went zombies? We gotta take care of this problem. Like what?
But they are really cheap for an unbreakable unit. I mean,
because they're zombies.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, does it?
I don't
because
think so.
You're gonna cast a raise spell and then get him up.
I mean, if anything, it's a moot point because vampires of all kinds and necromancers will just make some free zombies. Like you're not gonna stop us. Yeah. Well, it's okay. Here's a unit of 2d6 zombies for free. Oh, I'm gonna rise them. There's another 2d6. Suck a nut. Like what are you trying to stop here? We can make them for free. I mean, there are times where people will take a full core of skeletons and dire wolves and bat swarms and they'll just make their own zombies. It's like a zombie Build-A-Bear out there in the battlefield. Like you're not gonna stop. That's a stupid change. Like you're not gonna stop us. I'll make my own zombies with blackjack. You're not going to stop us. So that's just a weird change where no one's going to care about it, and it's just going to show that there's something weird going on. I think the zombies change is where things start going downhill in the thread. People are like, why the hell did zombies get changed? And it just went like that plane started nosediving from there because people started paying attention at that point.
I can understand people feeling it unnecessary. I can agree with that, but at the same time, it's 5 points. It doesn't matter. So I just don't get what the big deal is.
I know.
Either from the change or from the reaction.
It's just a stupid change. I don't know. But I do think that the zombies of all things was the tipping point in that thread. But moving on, Barrow Guard Howards went down. That's nice. I still think Barrow Guard should get their shields in the unit. Just charge more for the unit, but I hate paying for shields separately because it just is why do Barrow Guard gotta pay for shields? No one else pays for shields. Forlorn Knights get shields for free. I believe the Orcs get shields for free. I believe Tower Guard. No, Tower Guard don't. Tower Guard don't get shields. But I know a lot of units get shields. Just here are your shields.
It seems kind of random what gets shields included in and not. But
I don't know.
It's fine.
But Howard's went down. That's a high five. That's okay with me. Barrow Knights went down by 5 points. We discussed that earlier. I really want to see Barrow Knights make a comeback onto the battlefield because Barrow Knights are so seldomly taken. It seems like it seems like they're taken for a little scoring dart maybe. but you don't see any big
Yeah,
big
they have their
awesome
purpose.
bricks. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't see any big awesome big bricks of Barrow Knights thundering down the battlefield. Cadaver wagon cost went down, moving along. Like,
Yeah,
just,
I actually tried the cadaver wagon a little bit recently,
did you?
and I think it has uses. I mean, combine it with a lot of ghouls, and I think it's good.
Yeah, I remember when I
But
was at
it
VCACS.
is.
I remember back when I was VCACS. I did a big write up for because the community wanted, hey, we want the old raising barrel cart, the old raising wagon back. And like, all right, I'll do a write up. And like, it was like an overwhelming vote of people who like, we don't like it. Give us the old one. And they stuck with this Fortitude wagon. So I think when the wagon hits the 200 point area, I think then people will take it. I really do. I think when the point cost has a 2 in front of it, people will start taking it because then it's come down enough where like even that's like, oh, okay, we'll take the cadaver wagon. So that's coming down. I hope for redesign, but if it doesn't, just keep trickling in that point cost down. Court of the Dam dropped by 10 points. That one I found odd.
In the full rulebook redesign, I really think they're gonna do something quite different with all the chariots. They're gonna start from scratch with them, I think, and really look at what they should do and take care of it, basically.
See, to me, in my opinion, the best combat wagon is the Court of the Damned because you get in combat and boom, debuffed, and it's got so many attacks.
Yep.
And it went down in cost. If you ask me, that should have gone up in cost. I don't know why it's going down. And only Lamians take it because only Lamians get that 4+ Fortitude save or 4+ Aegis save. So I don't know. It went down.
Yeah. Maybe they should increase the cost of the 4+ Aegis upgrade and decrease the cost of the chariot then.
Maybe because without the Aegis save, that is a fragile boy. Let me tell you, trying to run a Court of the Dam without the Aegis save, you have a 5+ armor, I think, and it's like, ooh, baby, you're gonna get shot to hell, yeah, like, I do agree. I think that Court of the Damned base cost should come a little more down, but then increase the cost of the Aegis save. That way, the guys who are losing their Court of the Damned to a cannonball shot, don't lose that much points.
Yeah.
And then the Dark Coach. Man, the amount of hysteria around this stupid model. Like, okay, let's look at it on paper, shall we? Let's look at the Dark Coach. I mean, if you're a von Karstein bloodline, then you can take the stubborn upgrade. Okay. It's a stubborn chariot.
You must take.
Yeah, you must take. If you're independent, and almost all of them, because you don't see von Karstein bloodlines, let's be honest here. But if you're independent, you don't get stubborn. It has 5 HP, 4 armor, and a 4 of Aegis. And it does, that's a 3+ armor, 4+ Aegis. That's pretty tanky, And you can get that Aegis save without taking a bloodline. Yeah, pretty good. It's even better stubborn, but that's for another time. The Coachman, 2 attacks, strength 5, AP 10. Yeah, okay. Vampire, 4 attacks, off skill 6, strength 5, AP 2, agility 6. Okay. D6+1 impact attacks, and then 2 undead mount attacks. It gains the 6-inch conduit for autonomous, and can get the extended chassis, which increases its length and sets the undead mount attack value to 2. So you get 4 attacks instead of just 2. It's definitely a delaying chariot compared to like the Court of the Damned or the Altar of Undeath. But damn it, like, it's 460 points. The best combat wagon in the game, the Court of the Damned, is only 300. Not as savable because it's got no Aegis save, whatever. But just it's just so expensive. And here's the thing: people are still gonna take them. Like, you increase this thing to 500 points, and people will still take 2 of them. I guarantee it. Like, what they should have done is,
if they want.
Go ahead.
If you want that, bubble with autonomous, you're gonna take it.
Yeah, and
that's how it is.
If you really want to curb double dark coach, like, if you ask me, in my opinion, as a humble fluff player, this coach should be 0-1. Why the hell are there 2 dark coaches on the damn battlefield? Like, what's going on? Like, the dark coach lost its cool little power up table. It's just a basic unit now. But yeah, like, this should be 0-1. And I think if it was 0-1, they could maybe drop the damn cost down, because I call it the undead taxi, because all it does is just push your models forward outside of your general's bubble. And it's a 6-inch bubble. If you ask any man, 6 inches is a very tight bubble. All right, so you gotta be hugging that dark coach to really get use out of it. And when you have 2, you can increase that to a 12-inch bubble, which is a big deal. That's a whole other general running around. But yeah, just make it 0-1. Like, all this has done is just make people angry, because the ETC players always take 2 of these damn things in their list, and like, just make it 0-1. Just cut to the chase, make it 0-1, bring the cost down back to something not ridiculous, and then just leave it alone. Dark Coach is just, I don't know.
But wouldn't it be too much of an auto include? Then every army would have exactly 1 Dark Coach. I don't know.
There's a chart somewhere.
I think they need a unit.
Oh, go ahead. You go first. I'll try and find this chart.
I think they need a unit in the army that has this bubble of autonomous. Somewhere they need it, but maybe it shouldn't be the Dark Coach. That's what I said. Maybe it should be the von Karstein Vampire. All of them get a 6-inch bubble instead of just the unit.
I think it should be those damn Winged Reapers.
Could be. So,
like,
I don't know.
That's a whole other deal. I can talk about it at length if need be. But I'm trying to find.
Yeah,
there's a chart.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, I was trying to find that darn chart, but it showed how many dark coaches were taken, and it was like they're like taking, like, compared to the other chariots. I think I did the math on it. It was like they're taking 65% of all of the chariots taken in the army. I think the Altar of Undeath was like 16%. I think the wagon was like 2% or some damn thing. Like they're the most taken unit when it comes to our large constructs. Like, it's just always taken. Yeah. But yeah, I think just make it 0-1. Just stop increasing it. Make it 0-1, and just let people figure it out themselves. Moving on. Phantom Host went up 5 points. That's just another dumb thing. Like, to me, that's like a zombie change. Like, who takes Phantom Hosts more than 1 unit? I don't. I don't know anyone who does. I mean, they're a great chaff unit because you get that 2-up ward save against non-magical, but I don't see them a lot. Do you see them a lot in any of your local games or any ETC matches?
No, not at all.
So
I was thinking of maybe trying them sometime, but yeah, not now.
If you ask me, I think they're too overcosted anyway. Because I mean they're great chaff. They are the best chaff in the book, if you ask me, because they have that 2+ ward save, Aegis save against non-magical attacks. I mean, that's great. But they're 4 wounds apiece per base. They have AP 1, strength 3, which is kind of neat, I guess. But I don't see them taken.
Yeah. I think they overestimate the value of the 2-up Aegis save. I think. I mean, I tried them a long time ago, in the early 9th age, really, when this 2-up agency was new, and people thought it was so much worse than having just immune to all of non-magical attacks.
Yeah.
And I tried them in a game against Hibernals, and then they walked up straight across the battlefield. I had a unit of 3. They took some shots, didn't die, did all right. Charged into a unit of archers, and over 3 combat rounds they were beaten by archers.
Jeez.
So yeah.
That's rough.
If you roll those ones in the wrong spot, they just melt.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
I agree.
I don't know.
So I can't
swingy.
I can't figure out why they would go up, because they're not taken. Like they said this changes were done by like if they're taking a lot, they did increase. But like since when the hell are Phantom Hosts? Like I didn't see them. Man. Like I did the data collection for a lot of the GTs, and I was like I don't remember seeing Phantom Hosts, but like maybe once. So I don't know. That's a weird little change. I don't agree with it. Race went up both in base costs and additional models. The champion upgrade for Nosferatu came down to 100 points. So it kind of punished everyone else, but gave Nosferatu a point discount, because only Nosferatu can use the Wizard Conclave on race. So that to me is kind of wacky, because if you ask a lot of VC players, they'll say race are already overcosted for what they do. Since Special Hunters lost the Reaper ability, race and Banshees are the only ones who have that Reaper attack, and Wraiths get pummeled by magic and magical shooting in their games, to the point that it's discouraging folks from taking the damn things, because they just get waylaid by like ice and fire and all that,
Yeah, I still think Wraiths are good. Yeah, I don't know.
But I guess
I really appreciate the decrease on the champion.
Yes. And Nosferatu got a 20-point discount for them conclaves. Yeah. Which is good. Yep. I agree with that. Special Hunters went down by a point with additional models. That's like okay, thanks. I guess I'll save 5 points. But again, the champion went down, so Nosferatu rise up and scream, because you got some good discounts on your Wizard Conclaves that no one else can take. So that's a nice little Nosferatu bloodline buff. I don't mind that.
I painted up a unit for that just recently, so I'm really happy about that change. Now they are a little bit better.
Now the one that got me hot, Vampire Knights went up by 5 points. I run mostly Vampire Knights as a fluff player, and because I like them as a unit, and I cannot figure out for the life of me why they take them up 5 points to 250 a base. Like what? I don't get it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a very good unit. They're 2 HP apiece, D skill 5, off skill 5, toughness 4, strength 5, AP 2. Not on the charge, heavy armor shield. They have basically a 2-up armor save, and then a 6+ vampiric. But at the same time, I lose Vampire Knights very easily. They're not like an impervious unit, and only Blood Dragons get that plate armor increase and the extra attack increase. Besides that, I mean, they're not Grail Knights. I'll tell you that much. I don't understand why they would increase them again. Like I just cannot fathom it as why they would do that. What are your ideas, eh?
I never actually tried them. I don't have any models for them. I'm waiting for the tabletop miniatures Kickstarter still.
No, are you?
When I get those, I will try them.
The TMS one, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a year. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I think they will deliver, but it's gonna take some time.
Question mark.
We'll see when that arrives.
Like,
but it's a good unit.
Just do an across the board comparison. Vampire Knights reanimate 1. You can get 1 wound back per cast if they're not out on their own doing some wacky vampire hood rat stuff. Compared to Grail Knights, a unit of 3 Vampire Knights is 250. A unit of Grail Knights is 205. 88 points per model to get more, 85 points per model for Grails. So they're already more expensive than Grail Knights. Let's get that out onto the board right now. With their Grail Oath, Grail Knights are OND 5. Okay? Vampire Knights, OND 5. When you include the Grail Oath buffs, Knights of the Grail are OND 6. So a free upgrade for OND 6. So again, they're cheaper and already hitting vampires on 3s. Going to Strength, Vampire, Strength 5 AP2. Knights of the Grail, Strength 4 AP1. So they do have a strength on them. Vampire Knights have a strength and AP better than Grail Knights. Okay. Both get 2 attacks. However, Knights of the Grail get Lance Formation and Holy Might. So they can stack thinner and get all their attacks in. Big buff to them. The Undead Mount for Vampire Knights has another strength base, but the War Horse for Knights of the Grail has a +1 strength and AP devastating charge. So the first round of combat, if the Grail Knights charge, it'll be the same on the mount anyway. But at the same time, if you have Druidism, and you go to cast, get the wounds back on the Grail Knights, you are healing back more wounds on those Grail Knights than Vampire Knights. It's beyond me, right? How the hell a damsel can outraise a vampire getting wounds back on Grail Knights compared to a vampire desperately trying to keep its Vampire Knights alive. Like, I don't get it. Am I ignorant? Am I missing something? Or is it something I don't see here? Like, I don't understand. I just because I play both, right? And at home, I will pit both against each other and do tests, and Grail Knights win every single time. Like, because they can go real thin. And say I include Magic, because I always include Magic, because both are very may not like it, but KoE is a very heavily Magic-driven army. It just is because of Druidism and Shamanism. It helps buff the army up. Damsels out heal vampires on that unit, because Druidism has what's it called? Not Healing Waters. It's what's a goofy spell called where you get wounds back?
Summer Growth.
Summer Growth. Thank you. So Summer Growth, yeet, you throw it on those Grail Knights, and you are out healing Vampire Knights. You can outgrind Vampire Knights with the Grail Knights, and they're cheaper. Additionally, if Vampire Knights lose that combat, they crumble. So, like, I don't get why Vampire Knights are the super hardcore unit when they are worse versions, in my opinion, of Grail Knights. Like, to me, it's just wacky. I don't know.
I think one perhaps partial explanation is that they have a very unique role in the VC army. They are the only scoring unit with autonomous. Yeah, they do damage too, but they are the only scoring unit with autonomous, and that's worth a lot, I think.
I guess, but like I said, additionally, like Ice and Fire rerolling armor saves, you're gonna sneak wounds in there. There's susceptible. There's susceptible to long range fire with black powder. I mean, they're a great unit. Don't get me wrong, they're a fantastic unit. But why are they getting increases? If you take them, everyone knows that's their damage dealer. Because them skeletons, man, the Vampire Knights, so they're gonna get triangulated on hardcore with magic and fire. So I don't know. I don't get why they're going up. If you ask me, they should be going down. But that's just my opinion. Moving on to again.
I think we should try to wrap it up.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's move past Wing Reapers. We know about that.
Some closing top level thought on the whole update. What do you think?
I think that they're doing the best they can, but there are definitely some issues with I guess the algorithm they're using or something. But I get that it is a hard task to balance an army book out. And they have an awesome balanced out rule book, but that was the easy part. And trying to balance out the rule books is going to be an absolute teeter-totter of an experience. And people are going to get upset. Everyone gets their turn. That's all I'm going to say. Everyone's going to have that one update where they're going to lose their minds, and just I don't know. Just hopefully they figure it out here soon.
Yes, but by reality, one army always gets the short straw. Basically, you can't get everything right all the time, and I guess this time a lot of people felt it was the Vampire Covenant. So we'll call it at that. I'll do some quick recap of my painting. I've started on the white on my knights, and I've pretty much finished the horses. Have some different colors of the horses here. Let's see if I can get it to focus. So it's been going pretty well for me with the painting. So with all of that, all that's left is to thank you for coming on. I think we had a good discussion.
Yeah, it's always fun talking because people can actually hear the tone of your voice over a call than on text.
It becomes a lot more interesting than just chatting over a forum.
Yeah.
So as I said, I appreciate that you came on, and I appreciate everyone that's been watching. Hopefully I can get this out soon. It seems that the recording was indeed saved, so I will just edit together these two ones and get it posted as soon as I can.
All right. Thanks for bringing me on. I'm going to make coffee and make some breakfast.
Yeah, you earned it. So go enjoy that. I'm gonna make dinner soon.
Thanks, Matt.
So, yeah, cheers and goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.